grandparents, it's August and we're getting ready for back to school. So this month we're focusing on friendship and how to model and teach our grandchildren about friendship. If you think about it, it's just such an important factor of our lives and the type of experience we have over time. And those friendships are important whether they are outside or inside our family. We'll hit on both of those this month because I think it's really important that over time our children and our grandchildren become our friends too. We don't always have to be the authoritarian. We can be friends and grow into healthy adult relationships. So today we want to talk about modeling lasting friendships for your grands. And I'm sure there's some of you out there who maybe have friends from the time you were in grade school if you've lived in the same area for that many years. But many of us, we pick up, a friend or two in our 20s and 30s that becomes a lifelong friend. We go through a lot of transitions with friendships from childhood into adulthood, and we just change so much that our friendship needs and personalities change as we mature and become adults. So it's interesting to look back and see the friends that remain and then how many acquaintances we have over the course of a lifetime. So how do we model that for our grands? Well, first of all, I'm going to give you 3 words. Share, share, share. Okay? Spend time talking about it. Share that difference between an acquaintance and a true friend. Teach them that. And then tell the stories of your friendships. How some of them have lasted, why some of them didn't, what you learned from those friendships, both. Share pictures. If you have pictures of you with a young friend when you were a young woman or young man, grands eat that up because you don't look the same anymore. And so they get a big charge out of seeing you when you were young. And if they see you with a friend, and then especially if it's a friend that is still in your life that maybe they've met, what a great thing for them to see that friendship can last a lifetime. Share time. If you do have a friend like that that's nearby, do things together. Bring the grands into some activity you're doing with your lifelong friend and talk about it while you're all 3 together so that they see, these are people who have been friends for many years, and they begin to look at their friendships and think about the long term instead of just what's in it now. And later we'll talk about kind of the stages that children go through in friendships. We'll get to that this month because it's interesting. And when we look back, we know, some people passed through our lives, had very little impact. Others had great impact. So spend time with some of your adult friends with the grands present if you can. Let them see that in person. And then share the lessons learned from long-term friendships. One of the things that is amazing to me is how if you have a friend that's been friend for decades, you can just pick right up and have conversation, and it's not like there's been a big time gap. If it's somebody that's distant and you haven't talked to in a long time, but you have a phone call or something, the time and the years just melt away and you're right back on that comfort level if it's a true friend. So teach your grands about that and how to develop those good friendship skills. And then talk about the lessons you've learned from experiencing both the joy and the storms of friendship. We've all had wonderful times with friends, and then we've had friends where things went awry and there were storms and perhaps the friendship ended. It's okay to share the negative with grandchildren. I wouldn't dwell in that place, but the reality is that all of us will have disappointments in life. And so if we can talk to our grands calmly about that and share that, you get through those hard times and you come out stronger because you learn various things. And how do you, if you had a friendship break for some reason, how do you keep that from happening in the future? Those are great ways to model lasting friendships for your grands. Teach them how to retain a friendship over time, difficulties, aging, life experiences, all the things we go through in life. So my question for you today is, what is your longest friendship? How many years, how many decades? I personally don't have anybody I've kept up with since grade school, but I know some people do. And so if you've got one of those, we'd love to hear about it in the comments. Be grand, my friend.